What is up, my BBossBaddies and my bum fellas? It is your girl Bosana and welcome BBossArmy. So as you guys can tell, I am back with this video. I always say it like this because it's like every time I come back, you guys been wanting the other parts, and I'm like, I have so many videos out talking about this topic, but honestly, you guys, and I'm sure maybe for a lot of you guys, this is an absolute favorite topic. Okay, so I want to kind of just jump into it. There's not much I want to say aside from I do have 2 other channels, the links down below. Get to know me more, vlogs, all that type of stuff down below, and a couples channel. And if you haven't already, give this video a big thumbs up. And so let's go ahead and get started. So you guys, the first thing that I have that makes women to instantly want it, or basically get in that mood and they look at you different, is when you come unprepared to go ahead and get it. And the number one way you can come unprepared, there is plenty of other reasons, but this is something that I feel like a lot of fellas don't hear unless you have like maybe a girl that's a friend that could tell you, or maybe, you know, your ex or something, but a girl will never tell you. And the number one thing is not coming with a condom. Now, I won't keep saying condom the whole video, just YouTube policies. I'll say if you don't come with a con, you know, same thing, short form. So when you come unprepared, you're telling a woman that I'm not here because I want you to open your legs. I'm not here because I want you to bust it open. I'm not here because your ass is fat or those titties sit right. You're gonna show her that you're here because you're gonna want to get to know her. You're gonna want to see what she's about. Now, you guys know that women nowadays, they don't cherish, you know, the guys that take the time with them or the guys that really appreciate them. But that's not the worry right there. A lot of fellas are now taking the idea of, okay, well, if she's showing me that she's not into guys, or she's playing around, or she feels like all guys are the same, okay, let me show her that, or let me go ahead and try to show her different. But then you guys take a different wrong approach. And so what a lot of fellas can actually do with this is that when you show her that you came unprepared, you're taking the approach of respecting her instead. And that's kind of like not what a lot of guys lean towards. Is either you're gonna simp, or you're gonna be a super like rude, you know, jock, like, oh, I'm not dealing with you, all girls are the same. It's never kind of that balance, and there is guys that have that balance, but it's not often. So for you fellas now, when you have that balance, you're going to go and take the route of respecting her. A lot of women don't come around men that respect them in the form that they want. And so they want a man that has integrity, a guy that stands up for himself, a guy that all those high quality men have those traits. That's what she wants. But then again, she wants that man to have respect. But those type of guys don't respect those type of women because they know what those type of women are about. And so in all conclusion, you don't have a woman out here that finds the type of guy that she wants, because most times this balance that women are asking for is kind of like, huh? And it's like, it makes sense, but at the same time, it's still asking too much from a man because other requirements get involved. And so for a guy that's just going to take the route of respecting her, you're just trying to go ahead and tell her that, you know what, I didn't come here to make you spread it open. Especially on the first night. The respect makes a lot of women feel like, okay, you know what? I don't have to treat you so badly. If you are a simp and you're taking the route of, okay, I'm going to be nice, and you wonder why, oh, she's treating me so bad, or okay, well, I'm respecting her. Even though she might feel like I'm a simp, I'm respecting her. You see, the balance, once again, is not there. And so the guys that know women, know the game, they know that women, a lot of the ones that are the pretty ones that you like, the ones that are your type, the ones that have a lot of guys, those type of women, that's who you're going after. Or even that girl that you just might not, she might not be out in the public, let's say like that, right? She could be a quiet girl. You just got to get that these girls are expecting different. They don't get different all the time. So, excuse me. I didn't open my mouth, you guys. I know. I didn't open my mouth if you've seen it. I had to get that burp out because I just had ginger ale, and y'all know what ginger ale does to you. It gets you burping, okay? So I'm so sorry about that. But y'all know I don't edit my videos like these ones no more. So I apologize. So now back to what I was saying. I want to go ahead and wrap up so we can move on. And I just want to say that, fellas, respect is the response that a lot of women will say that a man should do, and then she'll go ahead and act like it doesn't matter. But after she'll end up giving it to him because that guy didn't care about the kunani. I say kunani because I'm changing it up. You could say punani, but kunani. You didn't care about her little kitty. If you didn't care about that little kitty and you respected her and you let her leave, and we're going to get into this in a second, she's going to just feel like, okay, well, wow, this guy's a little different. Or this guy's actually out here not trying to mess around with me. And so last thing I'll just say is when you don't bring a condom, it tells her, like I said, you don't want to lay it down or you're not trying to get it out of her. And so it really encourages a lot of women to actually give it to you. And this might shock a lot of fellas, but encourages a lot of women to go ahead and give it to you because they know that's actually not what you want. And so it makes them also grow interest towards you, knowing what you're about. And then also it makes her respect you, or also that respect gets pulled out simply because you're respecting her, but you're not being a simp with it because you won't tolerate the other bullshit. Okay. Next thing on my list that goes ahead, makes a girl just want it all the way. And this is what I was talking about that we were going to get into, is give her attention on things that no other fellas do. Okay. So all my fellas out there, I need you guys to get that you have to stand out different. If you didn't get it from me talking about having balance and how women come across men, and sometimes they just don't feel like men have that balance, right? So if you didn't get it, at this point, you have to be your own person. So when you become your own person, yes, in the process, you know yourself, you love yourself, but then you start understanding that you want this type of woman. So now, you guys, if you're a real high value man, if you're, alpha or whatever type of guy that you feel like you're at the best state of your life or you're doing better, you gotta not fall for those tricks or fall for those booby traps, as we can say, that woman set up. And so, you guys, you know she looks good. You know she's sexy as hell. You know she's fine. You know that thing is poking from behind. But your job is to completely, let's say it, completely ignore her. Now, I have ignoring videos, so we won't get too into that. But what you do when you ignore her is that you show her that you don't care about the beauties and all the things that guys are getting with her or wanting her for. And then when you do that, right, when you didn't bring a condom as well, right, you came like, I'm not trying to get nothing out of you. It also shows that you're trying to genuinely get to know her. Now, sometimes some girls will be like, well, you're just really trying to get to know me. They might feel like you're boring for that part, but when you're on your purpose and you're hustling, grinding, all those things I talk about all the time, you guys, it doesn't matter because ultimately you still have the right goal in front of you, and that is your job. That is your purpose. So when you are around a woman and you try to ask her things like, oh, what do you have planned next? What do you bring to the table? When you ask her things like that, you're bringing attention to her personality now. You're bringing attention to what can you offer. You're bringing attention to morals and values. Now, women don't do that because they care about the way they look. Sex appeal, everything, right? So when we have that, fellas, you guys gotta get that these girls, the values, the morals, they dismiss it. But when you go ahead and bring it and make it to be important to her and make her realize that, like, hey, well, do you bring something to the table, or what is it important about you? When you bring that knowledge to her and make her understand that, you know what, all along you weren't that good of a girl, or do you really know that you're not that, or making her question herself, you will have her go ahead and get to a point of being humble and also setting herself back a bit. Now, you set her, actually, not her herself, you set her back because she's getting to now understand that this ego or this front, this pride has been covering her up this whole time, has been getting her by. And so you bring these things out because girls will realize, well, do I bring much to the table? She might tell you, well, I bring good looks, or I don't know what basic things that she will say. I don't know. You guys know how it is with women saying that they do all these things, but they don't, right? Or they bring these things, but they're not really important or they're not relevant. So whatever she brings to the table, fellas, y'all gotta get that. You gotta bring it out of her. A lot of these women are just driven by their looks because their looks are successful for them, like in a sense of getting them what they want at the end. So if that's what's important, and you can bring a woman back to reality in a sense of like, hey, you're not much more different, or you know what, don't think so highly of yourself because you're not that much of that high quality, high value woman, then you will go ahead and have this woman humble, like I said, herself. But this leads her to wanting to get that from you because it's an attractive thing when a guy doesn't care about nothing else but what are you about. You have a vajayjay, you have good looks, but this guy knows he can get it anywhere. So when you make this woman kind of feel like she's special, she's different, she brings something else, she's, you know, a girl that's just not going to open her legs. You know, you make her feel more important. Like she's not going to be a one night stand, right? So when you do all that, you have women basically trusting you. Basically saying, okay, you know what? I believe in you. Now, you just got to keep in mind, last thing I'll say before we move on, you just got to go ahead and keep in mind that if you are doing these things, you still have to never be a simp. You still have to be on your purpose. Because when you lack in those areas, now you just become another guy that wanted her. You just became another guy that was in her messages. And you guys will be so shocked that it's like, excuse me, I was about to burp. I was not gonna do all that. You guys know how it goes. So, or maybe you don't, but you know now. Okay. So another thing you just gotta keep in mind with you guys getting to know her, knowing who she is. If she's deciding that she's gonna want you at the end, you guys, you have to understand she's only gonna decide that based on what she can't find somewhere else. So if she could find a guy that's just like you, and that's going to be because you want her body, because she's so hot, or you validate those type of things instead of just wanting her for what she can offer or wanting her for her values, then it won't matter no more. So always stick to what you want. If you guys feel like, oh, it doesn't work out with women, y'all just got to move on and stop trying to treat these women like they're more important once again. Or for that second, just try to save things, as I should say. Okay, last thing on my list is pretty much simple, but my fellas, this last thing is going ahead, okay, and you gotta not try a single thing on her and make her go ahead and step up her game. So what happens is that, and I'll get into it in a minute, when a girl tries something, or when a girl comes on strong, or when she shows up looking like she wants to fight. I'll talk about that in a second. But I just want to start off saying that you not trying a single thing and letting her step out, go, because if she didn't want to try to step up her game, she can just go, right? But you doing that right there, what you are doing that makes a woman want to go ahead and give it to you is simply showing that, okay, you know what? You can go. And I'm not going to fall for your thirst traps. I'm not going to fall for those tricks and mind games. And it's going to show that you don't care for the things that most of these men want her for, or lust over her for, desire so much from. You make yourself look different when you want something different. So if you're going to treat this girl as she's different in a sense of, okay, well, what are you about? Now you're trying to make her seem like she's different. You're trying to get out what she's different out of her. That makes her feel special. I already talked about that. But now when you have a fella that's going ahead and not trying to touch her or anything like that, you're also making this woman bring those qualities out that she never had to try with those other guys because they never tried to get it out, or they accepted her for who she is. So a lot of times the expectations and the things that guys say they want from a woman and only want that from a woman, it doesn't matter, because women won't do none of that, and they know a man will still take her. So for you guys, when you become different and you don't try a single thing, you guys have her going ahead and feeling like, okay, well, my attention has to be brought back to me, right? The beauty in me, what you really like. But you showing her that you don't want to try nothing is going ahead and saying that, well, I could get it from someone else, or I could get it another time. So the importance has to still be on, you're not gonna be powerful because you have a coochie. You're not gonna be having me all over you, or at least trying to get you because you're so dang fine. No, you're gonna have me see you next time, and then we'll see if I actually want it. And so in all summary for this point is really, you guys got to get that if girls are acting as if their thing is so powerful and they have all control, you got to act as if you don't want it then. If she wants to hand it to you now because she has that control to hand it to you now, you got to act as if, okay, well, I want it next time, next weekend. And that's the fellas that get it all the time at the end, because they will go ahead and wait. They will wait until it's best, when it's time, when she's going ahead and showing him that, okay, well, now I'm thinking differently. I want you a little bit more. But now this fella is like, okay, well, you got to step up your game. So now to wrap up, last thing I want to say, thank you guys for watching until the end. Last thing I want to say for all the fellas that have a girl that comes on to them, that tries, that looks, great, that comes prepared for that D, you guys, when she hops and tries to go ahead and put it on you, you can go take that opportunity. You should actually take that opportunity. But the teasing, the mind games that these women might do for you guys, don't entertain that ever, okay? You guys got to play it like you don't want it until she wants to force it on you to actually snatch it up and destroy that kitty. And I'm sorry if that was really loud. That is it for this video. You guys will see me in my next. Bye, guys.